Get a threesome going?
Get a threesome. Oh, shit. I'm not talking about sex, fellas. That's the Topsnap podcast. We are here, pre-UFC 202 show. Thank you for joining in, and thank you if you tuned into the last one. That was pretty amazing. All of a sudden, like in one day, we had like 70-some-odd hits.
Nice.
I know that's not a lot for most of you guys that see thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of hits on some things, but for this little podcast, this little grassroots baby, it's a lot. It means a lot to me. So the smallest counts in this fact.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Mr. Brennan.
Good morning. Good to be back. Had to do a quick little turnaround because of the events that transpired.
Yes.
Yesterday.
I kind of got a phone call from you today. Are we doing this? And I was like in bed going, fuck, yeah, we're doing this. Jumped out of bed, fucking grabbed some coffee, took a shower real quick, and still have a raccoon eyes, but I'm here.
I was hungover as fuck the last time.
Were you?
This. Yeah.
Really?
Super.
Oh shit, you partied.
It was tough to get in, but I thought we were on point, so it's all good. Now
yeah, it was. It was
even
pretty funny.
sharper.
It was good. It was interesting. That was a good podcast, and this seems to be right on track with being a just as equally good podcast. So, a few things on the agenda here. Water ball throwing. Are you gonna throw your water ball at me too to get the show started, or what?
You know, I thought I'd have this front and center just in case we have any disagreements.
Just fucking bink me right in the head.
Because as Connor said, fuck Team Diaz, and if you're with Team Diaz, fuck you too.
Oh fuck, and fuck you too.
He just went straight gangster Tupac style like that.
I gotta practice that.
The mic drop.
The accent.
There's some.
You
guys
do nothing. You'll do nothing.
You'll do nothing. Yeah. You'll do nothing.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. So I guess if you're not aware, and you're kind of just tuning into this, UFC 202 is this Saturday, August 20th, and Nate Diaz is facing off to Conor McGregor for the second time for a rematch because Conor lost the first one by a rear naked choke, and so they're kind of pumping it up, and the UFC's pumping this up, and this is post the UFC being sold for $4.2 billion. So there's all types of avenues. I've listened to pretty much all the commentary online, and a lot of guys are talking about, they talk about the drama between the two, and I believe there's a portion of it that is real reality between the two, but I think a lot of it is pumped up by McGregor.
Do you think that was set up?
No, not at all. I don't think it was set up. No. They're facing fines, right?
That's what they say.
They're facing it. They're facing fines.
Right.
They're facing. They say a cameraman got hurt.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so that's why there's a possible litigation bout.
Hurt by what? A water bottle?
Yeah, or no, the Monster Energy can. It was a full can. He grabbed from Glover right in front of Glover Teixeira and hucked it. Whew, and it apparently... Okay, so this is what it was. Apparently, either the can hit somebody or somebody was trying to dodge the can and rolled their ankle or somebody got hurt. I don't know what the extent of it, so I can't speak on that. But there is a pending litigation now, lawsuit, that's going to be posed against...
it's so stupid, and I'll tell you why. Do you remember when Cormier and Jones got into it at their stare down? That was a full-on fist fight.
Yeah, it was and everyone fell off the stage.
People fell off the stage.
Trampled,
people were up throwing water bottles. Give me a break. Right?
No, but listen, okay, if I throw... Look, I got into a fight one time. I got into a fist fight at my house. My brother threw a crazy raging party. There was like close to 200 people at my house. Small community. I don't have like a fucking ranch home or anything. And I came home. This is when we were all young, so we're living with our parents. And I came home. The place is just jam-packed, and there's these gangster kind of cholo guys from Huntington High, and a couple other dudes in the foyer, in the entry, and they proceeded to get it on with me. It was a long story, and I'll talk about that later. But I basically went down and confronted them to tell them, hey, you got to leave my house because they were threatening some kids. And lo and behold, I had long hair, and they grabbed me and they took these full beer cans and they just started pummeling me with the rim of it, the top rim, and smashing my face, dude. With some velocity, and I had these. It looked like the Olympic rings.
Yeah.
It looked like the Olympic rings all over my head and my face. My eyes were shut like black. I fucked up these guys, but I got fucked up too. But I'm just saying, a full aluminum can hurt you.
It would hurt you. It would hurt.
Oh, it'd fuck you up.
But you're talking about.
If I wing a can at you and you get whacked, and you know that I have money, you're going after it.
That's the thing. They know he has money. They know that it maybe. Oh, settle out of court. Here, give me a couple $100,000, whatever. Okay, but I think it's ridiculous.
$1 million lawsuit.
That's what it is.
No, that's what I'm calling $1 million lawsuit for
ridiculous.
sure. Make the news. It'll make the news if it's $1 million lawsuit.
I hope not. That'd be stupid. But
well, I don't mind so much if somebody gets fined. I mean, yeah, it's a shame.
Fine, I could see.
But at the same time, you got to be a little bit more fucking composed and can't be winging shit. Connor says it was self-defense, and that's why he had to.
Well, you know
he had
why
to
he's
throw
saying
cans
that.
back.
He's saying that
so he doesn't get busted.
To the legal side, he said I was scared for my life.
Oh,
he said that a couple times.
Of course, it's bullshit.
Well, it's the right thing to say, though.
You're scared for Glover Teixeira was sitting right there, right behind him, like watching the whole thing. So it's like, if you're scared for your life, you get behind the table, you get behind the desk. No, he was retaliating. That was retaliation, 100%. And any judge is going to see right through that bullshit. Like, listen, I watched the film. If I was a judge, I'd say, listen, I watched the film. You were fucking winging shit right on. And look, the Diaz camp is just as is at fault because a couple of them started throwing something, whether it be a napkin or a water bottle or something. I think
they threw the first water bottle.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought.
So he stepped off the stage. I don't know exactly who threw it, but somebody from the camp threw it, and then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, and then one more thing. I think what happened was they threw a water bottle towards the camp, and I think somebody from their camp, from Conor's camp, threw some shit back at them.
Could be because they were right there in the front.
That's why this whole thing popped off. They were kind of like, the whole thing started when Conor started talking shit about Diaz's camp, and then Diaz was like, "Fuck you and your camp."
Well, let's talk about the reason it happened because I have a perspective that's probably what everybody else is thinking. The only thing intentional about that press conference was Conor McGregor showing up late.
Do you think it was intentional? 100%. Did you see the UFC? There was like a small clip of him in his car.
Yeah, I did see that.
And he was looking at his GPS. Oh, man, we're going to be fucking late. We're not going to even be there in time. It sounded like legitimate concern that he wasn't going to make the press conference in time.
Sure it did.
So maybe he said, I'll be a little bit late, and then it kind of extended a little bit more later than he thought. Nevertheless, he was late. He should have been there on time.
Of course he should have. He was still pissed from not getting on 200. I guarantee it.
He wanted to prove a point.
He proved a point. He purposely showed up late. You could tell how pissed Dana White was. He was legitimately upset.
Yeah.
And he showed up late. As soon as he got there, he talked about how, F this timekeeping stuff. I'm here to fight. I'm ready to go. It's gotten me kicked off cards before.
Yeah.
He's still thinking about getting kicked off that card. He did not like that.
Oh, for sure. No.
And let's look at it from this point because he has a legitimate point here too. He said he's the one that started this whole press conference thing. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember press conferences before McGregor. They were boring. They sucked. They were nothing.
Well, it was more of a rudimentary thing, right?
The Q&A type of deal, right?
Yeah, question and answer is rudimentary. It was kind of the thing. And I tuned into them. I mean, I tuned into press conferences because you wanted to kind of get a feel of what these guys were going through, and they weren't exciting though, but there was information given, and I would tune in just for the sense of getting a little bit closer of an understanding of that fighter. Maybe I didn't. You don't hear much of these prior to press conferences, or at least these kind of press conferences.
Yeah, and I agree.
You get a little bit more personal with.
Sure.
You get a personal understanding a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why people tuned in. Mm-hmm. But now it's like it's an event.
Oh, now it's like see what happens. Yeah.
It's like what's he gonna say next, right?
Do you think it always has to be negative commentary back and forth, negative conversation, or a negative feel for it to be good? Because it seemed like Glover Teixeira and Anthony Johnson have mutual respect for each other. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, it's not as exciting, but it's still kind of like, Glover Teixeira's like saying, we're going to get in there. We don't need to have this fucking spectacle. We're going to get in there, and then we're going to throw bombs. and Anthony Johnson's like, I got to face. I'm not worrying about John Jones and Daniel Cormier. I got this killer. I got the Brazilian killer Glover Teixeira in front of me next to deal with. So, it was kind of, those are exciting words, but it doesn't have that excitement. Obviously, it doesn't have the drama.
You know how I feel about them, those two?
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't even been there. You are boring, Anthony Johnson and Glover. You brought nothing to it. The only reason you're there is because you're the co-main event. They sucked. I don't know.
Really?
They sucked. Get out.
So you're looking for drama then?
Dude, what are you tuning into a press conference for? You're tuning in to see the unexpected, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. They're answering questions. They have respect for each other. We've heard that the whole camp. I want to see something at the press conference.
So you're looking for drama?
Yeah.
And probably like you're probably the norm. The 90% of the people who tune into these things to want to see a bunch of shit. I don't mind. See, I don't know. Is this kind of too adult of me to want to see just two guys that respect each other, get in front of the mics? They kind of say, where the bout's going to take them. I don't mind hearing Diaz. Again, he doesn't even want to do this shit, but he does it because of his obligation.
When I want to see respect for another opponent? At the Olympics. This is a fucking fight.
They are fights.
There's no respect in that octagon.
I love you. I love you for it.
There's no respect.
I love you.
I'm there to take your fucking head off.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
So.
I you know what it is?
But
I see your side 100%.
And I get your perspective. And I like to see that stuff too, but not at a press conference 2 days before the fight. Let's see some shit go down.
Damn. So with every person that faces off, like when Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she's a pretty good interview. Is she like?
Loved that Ultimate Fighter, by the way. I watched every single episode because they hated each other. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I actually loved her before that, and then I thought she was kind of a bitch.
So would that mean that more people would tune in if you and I fucking hated each other over the mics?
Yeah, I might have to start some intentional fights right now. No, talking but that's what I'm saying. You want to see the unexpected. You don't want the normal BS, and that's just my opinion, though.
No, for sure. The rudimentary shit that they talk about. Diaz brought that up. Like, oh, it's the same stuff. Yeah, we're going to get in there. We're going to try to stay focused. This is going to be a good fight. We're focused on our training camp. We're going to just get in there. We're going to put in our round. Like that kind of bullshit. The same rudimentary answer. The same blah, 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 blah. Like the Peanuts gang?
Yeah.
Charlie?
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. You want to hear, like, listen, we're here. All friendship aside, I'm going to put this motherfucker out.
That's it.
I'm going to knock this guy out. I'm going to choke the shit out of this guy right now. And then after, if he wants to be friends, maybe we can be some friends. But for now, this period of time, my training camp and this fight leading up to this fight, I'm putting this guy away. I'm taking the belt, or I'm going to take this championship, or I'm going to put this guy down and I'm going to make some money. And I see what your point, because it is. At the end there, you're not playing patty cake. You're not playing touch butt with foam balls.
Yep. And you know what? I was just thinking about this. I apologize. McGregor didn't really start all this. You know who started all this, and McGregor just improved upon it, was Chael Sonnen. When Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva were going back and forth,
it was
how entertaining and exciting was it? It made it so much better. And Chael isn't the fighter that Conor is, but he could talk. He could talk, and he almost beat Anderson Silva. He backed it up.
He's a good fighter. I just don't think that he had the opportunity to really display and showcase everything he had under the complete umbrella. I don't know. I don't think he's as a complete fighter as McGregor.
The only thing that makes McGregor more exciting is Chael wasn't a striker. Conor is.
Yeah, and I'm going to give some Conor. Okay, look at this is where Conor gets his dues. The guy is very precise. He throws. If you really analyze his striking, his boxing, his overall striking, his kicks, I mean, it's not just fancy looking. It's pretty fucking laser guided.
Pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, he may not have all the power in the world, but he definitely is very accurate with it. He's on point, and
he's very on point.
Diaz.
By the way, I'll say this. Chael Sonnen, by the way, his daughter just died a couple days ago.
What the
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
Dude.
He had, with his wife, his baby was born 10 weeks early. I guess it had listeria, and she died. So rest in peace. It's very sad.
Oh,
Chael's
my
a great
God,
guy.
dude,
my
heart is broken, man.
Yeah, my prayers go out to that family. I know he's going through a tough time, but Chael was the man too.
That's why you haven't seen him on any of this stuff, or
not lately. This just happened, I think, on Monday. So it's a
what I'm saying.
story.
Leading up to this week. This week is media week for this fight, and I haven't seen anything on with Chael.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, Chael's son, and our hearts and prayers and good thoughts are going to be towards you and your family for getting through this. And I know that, listen, when something like this happens, I know firsthand how this can feel for somebody. I lost my nephew not too long ago, and he was only 6 years old, and you never get over it. You just try to get the healing process started as soon as you're done with the grieving. And you do go through a grieving process. I mean, I was just telling Lalava yesterday, I miss the little guy. I wish I could see how, because he's going to be like 8 years old right now, and I would love to see what he would be like, how big he'd be, and this and that. And so I not to go too far off on tangent, but man, that sucks. That sucks to hear, dude.
It's
That's
very sad.
fucking A, man. That just kind of throws a wrench in the laughter. So we got to pop that laughter back.
Sorry about that.
You got to keep that smile going, man.
Yep.
Life still goes on, and it's tough to tell somebody that. The best thing you do when somebody loses somebody like that, if you did come across somebody, is just listen to them. I listened to somebody the other day, and they were saying if somebody, don't try to tell somebody something when they're in their grieving or they're in that focus. If somebody's mad and they're pissed off, say I lost my kid and I'm fucking angry and I start throwing shit. You don't, as a friend, you don't try to calm me down. You try to fucking find something to help, give me to throw or throw with me.
Sure.
Like, oh fuck yeah, and you throw and show them that you're teamed up with them.
Yeah.
That you can try to put yourself in their shoes, because the worst thing is somebody wants to hear is, oh, it's going to be okay, and a pat on the back, and don't cry, or don't get mad, don't throw that. They don't want to fucking hear that. They need somebody supporting them, and if you can, support them in any way that they're grieving. If they're laughing, you laugh.
Yeah.
If they're crying, you cry.
Yeah.
If they're angry, you be angry. And that's how you support somebody, because it's hard for people to, when somebody loses somebody, a lot of people don't want to, oh man, I don't know what to say to that person.
Yeah.
I don't know, what am I going to tell them?
Yeah, it's tough. It's different.
It's
awkward, yeah.
So if you can out there, if you know people are going through some problems, try to fucking align with what they're going through, man. If they're laughing, laugh with them, man. Try to get them to see. Don't try to do anything for them. Just go with what they're feeling.
Yeah, just be there for them.
Be there for them.
Yeah.
Listen to them, and go with those feelings. UFC 202. We're gonna fucking
Here's another thing.
try to laugh with and cry with those guys.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to bring up too was, I think Nate in his camp was pretty pissed when McGregor showed up late.
Okay, we're gonna get to the point of how this thing really popped off.
Yeah.
Do you think the mic needs to be a little closer to you?
Do you?
Well, you were telling me earlier before we started. Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, he showed up late. I don't think their camp liked that he showed up late because he kind of stole the show, which is, from what I've heard, Nick told Nate to leave. He's go, let's go, we're out.
We're
they
out.
left. Conor fell into their hands in this fashion.
Yes.
If he wouldn't have reacted to the water bottle throwing or whatever happened, how it all got started, if he just sat there on the stage and let him walk off, the rest of the show would have been his.
Yeah. But
he didn't. He is emotionally tied to this fight.
Yes.
He is not, you know how his other fights, he's like, it's just another fight for me, just another guy. More guys pull out. I have to be ready to fight anybody. He is so invested emotionally, financially, everything in this fight that he got so caught up in the moment, and he lost his cool.
Oh, fucking
He lost his cool, and when they interviewed him too, he was calm. He was fine, but you could tell he lost his cool in that moment. And if you look at the backstage video, he was pissed. And you know what, Nate? Cool as a cucumber.
He was?
Oh yeah, they filmed him after he just went out and ate with his boys. Just another day.
Just another day with the Stockton crew. This is, and you hit right on point. So Nate was on time. They said Diaz or Dana White said, we're going to start without him. If he shows, he shows. And then later on he's like, yeah, he's on his way. He's just going to show. He's en route. So Diaz is there. He's given his rebuttals to the questions and this and that. McGregor shows up late. McGregor starts talking shit. McGregor starts talking shit on the whole camp. So apparently Nick tells Nate, hey, we're out of here. Let's go. Get up off. Fuck it. It's my big brother. He's the ultimate ninja. I'm going to follow his lead. That's what Nate's talked about.
Yeah.
He gets up.
Yeah.
He walks off, not to intervene, but
Yeah.
he gets up, he walks off, and at this point, this allows McGregor, or does not allow McGregor, to continue his normal route of bashing and verbally attacking because he's really good with words. And Nate is not as fluid with his speaking or his rebuttals. I mean, he's good at it with what he does say, but when McGregor throws those missiles over at him, verbal missiles, it kind of steals some of the show. But by getting Nick and Nate, by them leaving, Nick having Nate leave off the conference table, he's got no more target to throw those missiles. Conor doesn't.
He should have handled it differently, though. He should have said, "Oh yeah, he's leaving. He can't handle the pressure up here. As soon as I show up, he has to leave." Something like that.
Of course.
But he didn't.
He was dumbfounded. He was totally fucking caught off
Because you know
guard.
what? He did steal the show. It was a great mental, tactical move on his part, and it worked.
For a moment.
It worked.
For a moment. And then he lost his cool. And I think it kind of backfired on Conor a little bit. A little bit.
No. I'm saying it worked for Nate.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That move where he walked off.
Oh,
it worked.
fucking A.
It worked.
It was beautiful.
No, it worked against McGregor.
Okay, and I think it was proven a point also. Like, look at dude, you can't just show up fucking a half an hour late or so many minutes late to this conference, and then I'm gonna sit here and listen to you trash talk my whole camp and me and everybody I train with. Fuck you. I'm out. Peace. I did my part. I talked for half an hour while you were not here. This conference would probably be over by now if you were to already shown up on time. I'm out of here. Let's get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant on Nick's part to pull him.
And he didn't so much talk shit on his camp until they started walking out. The only thing he said to about the fight in his camp is, "I'm ready to go. You can bring all of Stockton."
All these Stockton.
But I think that comment kind of got to him.
Yeah.
To Nate's camp.
Yeah,
and Nate,
for sure.
because they take that personal.
Yeah,
You're
for sure.
talking about my city, my town, my boys.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and that's what happened.
Yeah, and that good for them because now they're getting fan loads by the minute.
Sure. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? How Nate takes the opposition. Like there was an oppositional person in the crowd when he was doing his open workouts. He finished, doing the kicks and the punches. And he was sweating, and then Megan O'Leary was interviewing him, and she says, "So how do you feel? After the conference?" Or she asked him basically how he's feeling, and somebody yelled out, "He's tired," and all of a sudden Nate looks over and goes, "Oh, I'm going to get you," and he smiles and he has that smile and goes, "Oh, I'm going to get with you, guy," like that. I think it's brilliant how he answers to that. Rather than get all mad at somebody or a fan, which he doesn't need to, but having that, "Oh, I'm going to get you," and then kind of playing around with it, it draws people to him. It draws me even more to him. Like, dude, this guy's so fucking, he's so boss.
It's a great point. It's a great point that you bring up because if you look at their first fight and their first interviews, people didn't really know who Nate was.
No, they knew Nick mostly.
They knew Nick, but they didn't really know Nate. And the way he was answering questions, people were like, "Who is this guy? What's wrong with him?
Is
He's
he on
not
drugs?
a talker."
Yeah, is he punch drunk? What's going on?
But now people know his personality.
Yeah.
And he's likable.
And he's loosening up on the mic a little bit. He's getting a little bit. Again, it takes practice.
No, it does.
And at first,
and Conor's had a lot more practice.
Oh, dude, Conor is that person. He's more of that personality. It's just like somebody if you get somebody here, like let's just say AJ from OC. He's been on here, and the first couple times on here, he's just like, he was quiet, like, "Oh yeah, quiet, do not talk, oh yeah, real quick, blah blah blah, blah blah blah." Now he's like a little bit more loose. But it takes that understanding, and Nate's getting that understanding because he's finally getting the attention. He's finally getting the press. All these things are just happening to him right now. He's a fighter. He's not a fucking commentator. He's a fighter. He's not a mic person, And these are things that he's learning now. Finally, that he's going to become. Hopefully, he can extract some of that and improve on that because this might be an opportunity for him to do other things besides fighting.
Yep.
Not that he wants to, but it gives him options. If he can,
it helps create his brand.
If he can hone that craft a little bit.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. So he's. I've always liked Nate. I like him even more now. I'm not gonna lie. He's hilarious. So yeah, he's learning. It's funny.
I like both of them.
People know him now.
I do like Conor on a couple different levels. I like the fact that he's bringing the heat. He's going up against an opponent he knows. I bet you deep down he knows this guy's a fucking nightmare for him.
Well, he knows he can lose again. Of course, he lost once. If you lose once, you can lose again.
Yep.
The thing about Conor that I've always liked is Conor finishes fights. He always finishes fights. Look at Jose Aldo. Look at Frankie Edgar. Even GSP towards the end of the career. They weren't finishing. They were getting decisions. They're fighting smart. Conor goes for the kill. He's there to entertain. He's there to put you out.
But when he goes up against people like not Lozon. What's the guy that he
Holloway?
Max Holloway. That's that was a decision. And Max Holloway.
But Max Holloway is a beast.
Yes, that's my point.
He couldn't put him away.
Yeah, exactly my point.
And they both got hurt in that fight.
Yeah. Oh, he hurt Max.
No. I mean, they both got hurt. Something happened with both of them in the first or second round. Something happened. I forget. I was talking to my buddy who's a UFC guy, and they both got hurt. But
they inflicted the hurt upon each other.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. But that's the point. Is that when.
But that I think that's his only decision in the UFC, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And granted, it is against a monster, and that's why I say to people like Nate or people like Rafael dos Anjos or people like Eddie Alvarez, if he goes to 155, all those guys are going to give him a nightmare. I don't know about the 145 class other than Max Holloway that's in 145, right? Max Holloway could give him... Now, Max Holloway's on a 9-fight win streak right now. 9 fights.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I still think Jose Aldo could beat Conor McGregor. It's that first fight. It's 13 seconds. It's tough to say.
Yeah, but this is the point that I'm trying to make with that. Jose Aldo is amazing. He's an awesome fighter. He just and again, I'm coming from a standpoint of looking at the size, looking at the strength, looking at the skill set. He can beat Conor for sure. But is it as likely as a Max Holloway? Is it as likely as a Nate Diaz? Now, granted, it's a different weight class, but that's the point. Is that Conor's so much bigger in that weight class, that 145 class. So when he rehydrates, especially now with the new rules that they're weighing in earlier on the previous day, this gives even more of a chance for him to come back to a normal weight, and be just that fledgling fucking fighter, that pummeler that he knows how to just wing those things. I just think it's a bad those what's the word? The fights that he had before, like Nate said, I hate to say it, midgets, man.
You know what's funny?
They're smaller people.
Imagine if this fight was at 155. You know how much different the conversation would be?
Yeah, completely.
McGregor would be favored a little more. He'd be a 2-1 favorite.
Yeah, because now Nate had to drop even more. But Nate had a good point. He says, listen, all I've ever fought in the UFC has been 155, and he's fought 170 a couple times. Yeah. So his class is the 155 class.
Yeah, no.
Which is crazy because he's a big 155, dude. But he's 6'1". He's a big fucking guy.
He's super tall.
Yeah, he's taller than I am.
McGregor's fought at 145. He should be fighting at 155. It would be a totally different conversation, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe Nate would still beat him, but I tell you what, those shots that Nate took in the first round might have put him down at 155.
Possibly.
So
we don't know.
Ooh, it's exciting.
Yeah. Then he said, definitely, this is what Conor said, definitely there's going to be a trilogy. Definitely there's going to be a trilogy.
Well, let's just win this fight.
So I think that's him stating that he's going to beat up Nate and that he's going to want that because of the big money.
Yeah.
No matter what. Because it opts itself. It puts itself into the available option of all right, now there's 1-1. Let's make it confirmed with a third fight.
Yep. So let's talk about what happened. So both their teams got suspended. Their teams were not allowed. Did you know that? They were not allowed at the open workouts. They're not allowed at the weigh-ins, and they're not allowed to be in the corner, I believe, for the fight.
Fuck! I heard it was just Nate. No. I mean, Nick. I just heard it was just Nick Diaz that wasn't allowed.
Both camps are suspended, not allowed in the arena.
Kavanaugh and everybody?
Everybody.
So who the fuck?
Yeah, Kavanaugh was posting it. He was doing a Q&A about it, and from home. But that's...
From home? Oh, from the Las Vegas house.
From the open workouts. Nobody was there from either camp because of what happened. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about if they can go to the fight because I mean, you got to have your coaches in your corner,
Yeah,
right?
how do you not have your fucking coaches in
But
your
I've
corner?
seen the Diaz brothers getting scrums after fights in the octagon before, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're suspended for that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that it was just going to be Nick that wasn't allowed there. I didn't know if it was going to be.
None of them were there.
Well, and they said also because Nick has not finished paying off USADA the whole $100,000, that he still owed $75,000.
For what?
Well, when Nick got suspended for the 1 year and $100,000 fine
For marijuana?
for the marijuana USADA violation. So I guess he's only paid $25,000 so far of that.
Oh, okay.
And he still owes them $75,000 because he hasn't paid that. They're banning him from being at the ringside. Like he can pay to get in, or he can be in there.
I haven't heard that. Wow.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Just pay it.
Yeah, that's 75 G's, man. That's
Yeah, well, 75 G's to me and you is, a little different than him. Not to say it's not a lot of money, but
Yeah.
he's got to pay it, right?
yeah. He's got. I mean, if he's gonna fight and if he's gonna be cornering, yeah, he's got to pay it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they're in the corners. By the way, I was wrong about the 196.
On the last podcast?
On the last podcast. It was the biggest one, but it was McGregor Diaz.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Not
It wasn't
Jose.
Jose Aldo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Because when you said that, I was like, wait, 196. It sounded right.
I
but
knew
then-
I knew 196 was the highest of all time just because Connor said it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was against Jose Aldo.
Yeah. Jose Aldo was what 190.
Must have been 194.
194,
Something like that.
195. Oh, here, how was this?
now we're a little more prepared. Kind of, sort of.
I'm trying to be. I just need a UFC 194. Conor McGregor KOs Jose Aldo in 30 seconds at UFC 194.
There you go.
Oh, I love having my little computer here.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, I got about 15 more minutes. What else we want to...
there was so much. There's so much drama.
So the weigh-ins are today.
Oh, they are. What time do you know?
I don't, but that should be interesting. How do you
Because they're
think
going to
that's-
face off, right?
They're going to have to face off.
Oh,
How's this going to go down? I mean, their camps won't be there, which will help.
So for sure, their camps aren't going to be. Well,
No, I know they won't be there at the weigh-ins.
Oh, because they don't want this like gangster feel. They don't want to have a fucking full on like.
At this point, they're just trying to make it to the fight.
Yeah.
Because they don't want any more.
When yesterday somebody told me, oh, they might get kicked off. I was thinking, oh, dude, don't fucking tell me they're gonna get kicked off this card. That would just be devastating. As far as like,
it would be a nightmare. So they've already weighed in at the pre-deal, but then I believe the whole crowd.
Okay,
one,
so they did
it's like
the
fake
pre-deal
deal.
today.
Yeah, they're both on
by
point.
10 o'clock, right?
Now, what did McGregor weigh in? Because I heard he's going to weigh in at 165. He was targeting.
Really?
That's what I heard. Let's see. Nate weighed in at 170.5.
Okay.
So he's big.
Yeah.
He's big.
He's barely making weight. Well, not barely. I'm not going to say he barely made weight, but it wasn't at 170. He was at that threshold, that half pound threshold.
McGregor weighed in at 168, which is exactly what he weighed in
Last
for the
time.
one before.
Isn't that exactly the same that both of them weighed in?
I think so.
170 and a half and 168.
Yep.
Barn burner.
Rumble and Glover both came at 205.5.
So they were walking around heavy and thick too.
Yeah.
Those guys are fucking gorillas, man.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the best of ways, like as in fucking just beasts. People who are just.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's gonna be a banger.
I want to watch the
Cowboy fight. I'm fucking so pumped on this Cowboy fight. I watched his interviews last night and stuff, and he's just a badass. You guys gotta look at that guy. He don't give a fuck.
right. So the real weigh-ins where they stare down is at 4 p.m. today.
Okay.
I gotta watch that.
So it gives me some time. What are you doing for the UFC fight?
So I have my fantasy draft.
Yeah, and you're gonna do that before.
Well, it's an all-day thing, and then we're gonna watch the fight there.
Where at your buddy's house?
Yep.
Oh, very
well,
cool.
we rent this house for this draft in Long Beach, on the
no
canals.
shit.
It's sick, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
So we're gonna just do our draft there and then watch the fights. That's like our buy-in pays for the fight.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I'll be watching it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a little shindig at my house. Do some poker,
Cool.
watch the fights, and barbecue and all that shit.
Nice.
I hope enough people are gonna come. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if a couple people.
Everybody go to Jay's house
Yeah.
for the fight.
Come to my house. Twitter me or
You
text.
on Twitter?
yeah, Twitter. It's
I don't do Twitter.
I don't really do it, but I do it. I do it because of the podcast
Yeah.
mainly.
You got it, I guess.
Topsnap _ podcast.
Yeah.
I guess I try to.
Nice little plug there.
Yeah, well, I have to plug. I gotta try to plug. You know what irritates me when I watch podcasts sometimes is the commercials.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be interested in a podcast, and then all of a sudden it cuts, boom, and it goes right to the commercial. And then if you look at the timeline if you're watching the videos, it goes right to like a commercial. Like Chill Sentence has like fucking 15 commercials on it. But that's how he pays for his podcast. I'm not mad at the guy.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little irritating.
Well, it disrupts the momentum.
Yeah, it really does. And I don't want to hear commercials, man.
Yeah.
I don't like watching commercials on TV. Why would I want to watch a commercial on a podcast?
Yeah.
I just want to listen to the whole fucking thing and be on my way.
There's a lot of podcasts that go straight through, though, right?
Yeah. No, there's a gang of them.
Yeah.
Rogan used to do a lot of his. Now he just does. He gets right into his podcast when it's posted on YouTube. But on his channel, he does his like on it and on the commercials right before, like they'll say onit.com.
Yeah.
There's a plug for on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What else?
There's a bunch. I went blank. I fucking tried to jump out of bed right now with my balls hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I was the other day. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna let Jay take over for this one.
I'm on this cleanse right now, man, and I'm not.
How's that going?
Oh fuck, it's not bad. Last night I ate some Thai food, but it was all vegetables.
Yeah.
Tom Kha, you know what Tom Kha is?
No.
It's like a coconut soup.
Oh, okay.
And they have like mushrooms. They have all these crazy like little mushrooms, all these little fun guys in there, and some kind of root and ginger. It's gnarly. Some of the shit in there is fucking gnarly. Like what is that grass? Lemongrass. You can't really eat that shit. It tastes like bark. It tastes like bamboo bark or some. Yeah, it's got a bunch of shit. It's really tasty. And if you get it spicy, it fucking really kick your ass.
So you can still eat on this cleanse?
Yeah, but it's only fruits and vegetables.
And how long do you do that for?
It's my own made up little. It's bro science.
It's your own little cleanse.
Yeah, it's my bro science. So I'm it's my own little cleanse. I'm just basically taking out all the starches and all the heavy carbs, the heavy carbs, not the fruit derived carbs, but the heavy carbs, the starches and all that, and I just replacing it with a lot of water. This is my first cup of coffee all week.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a couple tastes of coffee the day before, and the day before that maybe like a couple sips of coffee. I was craving it.
It's hard for me to not get up and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but I was trying to just clean out my system a little bit. Dude, I was gaining a lot of weight. I haven't weighed myself yet this morning. I'm saying I'm going to be below 204. Like yesterday I weighed in at 204 and a half. So I think today maybe 202.
Nice.
That'll put me at dropping about 10 pounds in a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I wanted to do the jiu-jitsu tournament. There was another jiu-jitsu tournament I was going to try to go after, but man, I can't fucking compete at that heavy weight and with not a lot of like dexterity, and like you lose all that when you get inflamed. Like when you put on weight and you get they call it inflammation. You know, you feel like puffy.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into heavy positions. If somebody smashes on me and I'm trying to get inverted, dude, my gut's gonna be in the way.
Yeah.
Probably pop out a rib. Have you ever popped a rib out?
No.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Only time I ever did, we used to get drunk and then roll here at the mats.
Yeah.
And if you drink beer and you're rolling, what are you doing? You're shaking up that belly, and all that carbonation expands your stomach.
Wow.
Well, it expanded my rib cage, and I got smashed on, and my rib popped out. Pow, dude! I thought I punctured my lung.
Yeah.
Yeah, swear to God, it was some of the worst. Next to my knee injury, some of the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, and I had to take a little layoff of jiu-jitsu for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Till it could heal a little bit.
I can imagine. Yeah, there's nothing you can do with the ribs. You just gotta let it heal, right?
Fuck, because there's cartilage in there that kind of keep them all aligned.
Yeah.
And I'm good now, thank God. I haven't had anything pop out lately, but I haven't really been rolling that much. But
So you do the competitions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What belt do you have?
I'm a white belt.
You're a white belt.
Yeah, and everyone makes fun because all my friends have moved up from white to blue, from blue to purple, and some of them even moved on to brown belt in the time I've had my white belt. But I don't. Shit. I mean, I really don't.
How do you get promoted?
You have to spend time at an academy, and then you have to learn a certain regimen of moves and discipline. And at that point, when they have belt promotions, because they don't just promote you, haphazardly. They do it on a schedule.
It's like a ceremony.
Yeah.
Right?
So like this November, Electric Jiu-Jitsu. Plug out to Electric Jiu-Jitsu. That's my home. They have belt promotions in November.
Okay.
And so I just haven't been going. I get so caught up with work, the podcast, my real business, home life, all this shit that I haven't been training at Electric, and that really is my home. I feel at home there. I know all the guys, and they have belt promotions in November, but I seem to miss belt promotions all the time. Technically, if I go and stay till November, I would get promoted to a blue belt. I submit every time I would roll with the blue belt. It's either a draw or I can do a submission. I mean, I get caught, but I can submit blue belts. I can submit purple belts.
But you don't care about the belts.
I really don't.
You just care about the training.
The training.
Yeah.
I let the belt just hold my gi together.
That's what they say. If you don't love the process, then you shouldn't be doing it, right?
Yeah, and a lot of trainers don't look at that. They see that you need to strive towards your black belt, and because it makes you better and makes you have something to work for. Like anything else.
Oh, it just means you spend a ton of time.
Like your fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Dude, are you gonna win some money this year?
God, I hope so. Jesus. Last year I didn't win any money. I was pissed.
You lost how, 275, 250 more?
Well, I was in like 4 leagues.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem. I've cut it back to 2 leagues this year, so I can just focus on them.
And what leagues are those?
They're just 2 different fantasy leagues.
So you go online for those?
No, they're work leagues.
Work leagues. So people put these together?
Yeah, this is a 16-team league, which is the most teams you can have in a league.
Okay, obviously because there's 16 real teams.
Well, there's 32 real teams.
Okay.
But there's only so many players. There's like 13 players to a team.
Yeah.
So it's like there's only so many players you can draft. But
I was thinking 16, but that's per conference.
Right.
Okay. So somebody or a group of people, or is this like a coalition? How does that work?
Yeah, just buddies, people at work, people that like football.
Who organizes it, though?
So there's commissioners that organize it. I used to be a commissioner in a league.
Holy fuck.
And then you organize everything. The biggest thing is getting everybody organized for the draft, and then you have the rules that you lay out, and then throughout the year you do the payouts, stuff like that. So.
Dude, that sounds intense.
It is intense.
It's like running a business.
Yeah, it's not easy, for sure.
You could run a business.
Yeah.
If you've been a commissioner in a league, you can run a company.
Right.
Fucking A. Right on. Well, I don't know how many minutes this is, but it's probably kind of wind up time.
Yeah.
Clock it in.
Yeah.
We're reeling the fish.
I'm excited. We'll see how the fights go. It's tomorrow, so everybody check it out, and then I'll have to come by sometime next week, and we'll do a little recap.
Do some recap on some Havoc.
I was looking at our predictions. We really had a lot of similar. We didn't disagree on a lot, other than the main event and co-main event. That's it.
I don't want bottles of water being thrown at my head, so I was just kind of trying to go along, keep in lines with you, not piss you off too bad. Topsnappodcast.com. Check us out. I had to throw this down. You're an awesome guy to have on the other side of that mic, dude.
Thanks, man.
I used to have Keola. He was my guy when it came to fight talk and fight.
Yeah, I've listened to Keola. He's he knows.
Yeah, but he wasn't. I mean, he's good. He's great. But you're definitely more. He and I would end up battling and arguing about everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything.
I've only watched a couple with him.
Yeah, we battle and argue about a lot of things, which is great because it gives it that opposition.
Yeah.
But it's great to have your perspective on some of this shit because fighting, and we should. What we should do is we should go to fucking Vegas for a fight one day.
Oh, we got it. Or when they come out here.
Well, yeah. Or we could even just go at the end of the month. My buddy puts on Fight Club OC. It's over here in Orange County. Usually has it at the hangar over here at the OC Fair. You guys go check it out. Fight Club OC. He has a hybrid card, so he has boxing and MMA. And, dude, every time I've been to one of these fights, it's fucking great.
You know what? My buddy, I'll shout him out, DJ and Dave Cardona know the promoter of Star MMA.
Okay.
And we went to the Hollywood Park and Casino.
Oh, you went to that?
About a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And we watched those fights, and they were badass. That's getting torn down for the LA Rams now. But those minor league promotions, man, I love going to those. It's awesome.
Dude, they're amazing. You see good talent. A lot of these guys have only had a couple fights. Some of them premiere themselves.
Not as skilled. You won't see as many knockouts, but if you're a fight fan, you will love it. You could sit close to them. The ring girls. Oh.
The ring girls are cute, but the Fight Club OC guys, I'm telling you, there's some guys that fight that promotion that are fucking legitimate, man.
And don't those guys from that promotion, they pick them to Bellator, like the Spar Star? They pick Bellator picks from
they
that.
have. And they have legitimate, they had Big John McCarthy there. He was reffing.
Oh, yeah, you see all the normal refs.
Yeah.
They do all that small stuff.
Yeah, for sure. They do it through the California State Athletic Commission and some other commissions that they're hired through. Yeah, it's interesting. So we should go because I think it would be fun.
Absolutely. I'd be down. That'd be fun.
Nice.
Whether it's a minor promotion or UFC or Bellator or whatever, let's just do it.
Is it California Kid 83? California Kid 83?
Yep.
Instagram, California Kid 83. Fuck, I got a dick in my mouth right now. Shit.
It's all
Spit
good.
that thing out. California Kid 83 on Instagram. See Brandon. Username is Jay on Instagram. You can see me, Jay. This is Not a Fighter and Not a Kid podcast version of Topsnap podcast number 24. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. Watch that UFC 202 so you can understand what we're talking about. Check out some of the video shit on YouTube so you can kind of get a. It's good. It's good drama. If you're into soap operas, you'll love it.
Absolutely. Good
All right.
being here again, man, and we'll talk next week.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
Peace out.
Later.
Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.